Okay, here we are. Okay, so like I said, the main thing that's super important is this last part here, the critical value and the confidence percentage. So we learned this a while back. One critical value or one z-score is 68%. Okay, remember that rule: 68, 95, 99.7. 60 is 1, 95 is 2, and 99.7 is 3. So try to memorize those three things. It was a while back we learned that, but this is kind of a reminder of that. Okay. All right. Also, let's see here. Okay, margin of error formula. We're going to be doing this today. You take your critical value times the standard error. Okay, that should be right there on your notes. Okay, let's do a couple of examples. Here's how it looks right here. Put ME, which is margin of error, equals the critical value. That's a Z with a little star on top. Okay, that's we're going to get that from using the 68, 95, 99.7 rule. And then times the standard error. The standard error is going to be given to you in the problem. So ME equals Z star times SE. Okay, and Z star is our critical value. All right, let's do an example. Once you see an example, it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Okay, so let's use the formula we just learned for margin of error. Find what that is. Okay, so remember the formula for margin of error is the Z star, critical value, times the standard error. This one's pretty straightforward because they give it to you right here. Z star is 1, the standard error is 4.5%. So we're going to multiply those two things together. Now, don't convert the percentage. Don't move the decimal over twice. Keep it as a percentage. Okay. So I just multiply the Z star times the standard error, and you get 4.5. So 4.5% is our margin of error. All right. Now, do y'all remember from yesterday how to make the graph? Okay, this is what we did yesterday. Do y'all remember what number goes in the middle? P hat, right? 51%. So we're going to put P hat in the middle. Okay. And then we're going to add the margin of error and subtract the margin of error we just got on part A, right? So I'm adding this and subtracting this, right? From 51% to get the lower and the upper value. So let's add 4.5% to 51, and let's subtract 4.5% from 51, and that's our confidence interval, 46.5 to 55.5. Okay? Now let's write our confidence statement, right? Okay, so do y'all remember, based off the last slide or the last part of the notes, what is one critical value? Do you remember what one is? Is it 68, 95, or 99.7? What's the first one? 68, right? You look back at your notes here. Okay, 68 is our one, right? You have it right here too. One is 68, two is 95, and three is 99.7. Okay, so when it says a Z star of 1, that means we're going to do 68%. So we are 68%. We got that from Z star being 1. If it was a 2, it would be 95. If it was a 3, it would have been 99.7. Okay? And then the situation is we're looking at fish from the river that were trout. And then we put down the lower and the upper value we got from our margin code. Okay? All right, let's try another one. Let's try example number 2. Okay. What is the margin of error for this information? Okay, so Z star is 2. So I'm going to put 2 here and multiply it by 4.5%. So let's do 2 times 4.5%. So our margin of error is 9%. All right, let's draw our confidence interval. Make sure 51% is in the middle. And this time, instead of adding and subtracting 4.5, we're going to do it with 9%. Okay? So 51%, let's add the 9, and that's going to be our lower and our upper. Okay, so here, I don't want to tell you everything, I guess, but here we go. So how do we get 95%? Why is it 95? Well, the C star is 2. So remember, 1 is 68, 2 is 95, 3 is 99.7. Since the C star is 2, 95% is our confidence percentage. And it's from 42 to 60. Okay? All right, let's try another one. Okay, so this time they didn't give us our Z star, okay, but they gave us the confidence of 99.7. Y'all remember what 99.7 is? Is that a 1, a 2, or a 3? That's a 3, right? So our Z star, because our confidence is 99.7, our Z star is going to be 3. Okay? So sometimes they give you the percentage confidence, sometimes they'll give you Z star. Okay? This time they gave us the confidence, so we're going to say that's 3 because it's 99.7. So 3 times 4.5%. That's not right, is it? What's 3 times 4.5? It's not 9. What did you say, 13? 13.5. All right, don't read this up here. I'm going to change this real quick. 13.5. I don't know why they put 9 there. Okay, so 13.5%. 51% still in the middle. Oh, they did it right there. There we go. All right. 51% is in the middle, so then I'm going to subtract 13.5 and add 13.5 to get my lower and my upper interval, and then make our confidence statement. Okay? I think that's all the examples we're doing together. All right. So now what I want y'all to do is y'all can do 4 and 5 by yourself. You check by me once you're done, and then once I check